I used your college money to buy my dream house, Cressida said on the phone. Her voice sounded sweet, but also proud and mean. You're never going back to school. It's time to grow up and live in the real world. I held the edge of the smooth wooden table in my apartment, so I would not shake. The table felt cool and steady under my fingers. She was talking about the $800,000 my grandparents had saved for me. It was money they wanted me to use for law school one day. She thought it was gone. Interesting, I said in a calm and quiet voice. How did you do that? My name is Mariselle Thorne. I am 35 years old. I live in Manhattan in a tall building with big windows. I run a company where I help people take care of their money. I am good at my job. But inside my heart, I have always had one big dream. I want to be a lawyer. I have been taking night classes for many years, so I can go to law school soon. Cressida is married to my big brother, Caspian. She came into his life very fast, like a strong wind that blows everything around. They met last summer and got married only 3 months later. From the first time I met her, she asked strange questions about our family's money. Oh, it was easy, Cressida said on the phone. She sounded annoyed that I was not crying. Caspian still had access to the account your grandparents made. All we needed was his signature. She laughed softly. The house is beautiful. 5 bedrooms. A big kitchen. Shiny floors. It's a much better choice than wasting money on your silly school dream. I could almost see her smiling under a big bright light in her new house. Well, I said softly, thank you for telling me. I hope you enjoy the house. That's it, she snapped. You're not going to yell? Not going to beg? Come on, Mariselle. Say something. I did not answer. I simply hung up. Then I walked to my desk and opened my laptop. A new email was waiting for me. It was from my lawyer, Marcella. The message said the money transfer had been blocked. The bank had stopped it. The money was safe. Weeks ago, when Cressida started asking too many questions, I moved the money into a special trust. Only I could control it. I had done it quietly and carefully. My grandmother always said, "Get ready for storms before they arrive." She was a very smart woman. She built her own business from nothing. She taught me to think ahead and protect myself. I picked up my phone and called Marcella. Everything is saved, Marcella said calmly. The fake documents, the timestamps, the phone recordings. It's all there. Good, I replied. Marcella paused. Do you want to press charges? Your brother's signature looks forced or copied. I closed my eyes for a moment and thought about Caspian. When we were children in Brooklyn, Caspian always protected me. If kids were mean at school, he stood in front of me. When our parents got divorced and the house felt sad and quiet, he made jokes to make me smile. He was my big brother. My shield. Not yet, I said. Let's wait. I want to see what Cressida does when she finds out the money didn't move. After I hung up, I walked to my small home office. I opened the bottom drawer of my filing cabinet. Inside was a thick folder with a label that said Grandma's letters. I took out the last letter she wrote before she passed away 2 years ago. My dearest Mariselle, it began. I am leaving you this money because I believe in your dream. The law is not just a job for you. It is your calling. Do not let anyone tell you it is too late. And do not let anyone steal this chance from you. I smiled as I traced her neat signature with my finger. When I was 12 years old, Grandma taught me how to study handwriting. She showed me how every person writes letters in a special way. That skill helped me see something strange when I first looked at the bank papers Cressida sent. Caspian's signature did not look right. The lines were stiff. The curves were wrong. It looked copied. My phone buzzed. It was Caspian. Hey Liv, he wrote. Cressida is so excited about the house. I know the money was for your school, but you already have a great job. Family should help the family, right? My chest felt tight. Caspian had always been careless with money. He liked quick fixes and easy answers. Cressida must have seen that right away. Another message came. The realtor needs the money by Friday. You're not mad, are you? I typed a reply. Then I erased it. I decided to stay quiet. At that moment, a soft sound came from my computer. A new email had arrived. It was from Columbia Law School. They were inviting me to my final interview next week. I felt a small smile grow on my face. My dream was getting closer. I walked to the window and opened the blinds. The city looked golden in the evening light. The tall buildings shone like they were made of glass and gold. Cressida thought she had won. She thought she had crushed my dream. She had no idea what was really happening. Friday came quickly. Early that morning, my phone would not stop buzzing. The bank says the transfer failed. Cressida texted. What did you do? You think you're so clever, another message said. James is upset. How could you betray your own brother? I calmly made a cup of coffee and sat at my kitchen table. I opened the files Marcella had sent me. There were copies of every fake paper. There were recordings of Cressida pretending to be me on the phone. There were timestamps showing when she tried to move the money. Then my phone rang. It was Caspian. Mariselle, he said. His voice sounded worried and shaky. We need to talk. Cressida says there's a problem with the money. There is, I answered calmly. Do you want to know the truth? Or do you want to keep pretending nothing is wrong? There was silence. I signed the papers, Caspian said softly. We're family. Did you really sign them? I asked gently. Or did Cressida trick you? Did she show you one paper and make you sign another? Another long silence. Please come over, he said. I need to understand. An hour later, I sat in their big, shiny living room. The floors were new and bright. The walls were white. Everything looked expensive. Cressida was walking back and forth quickly. Her heels clicked loudly on the floor. I opened my laptop on the coffee table. As you can see, I said calmly, these signatures do not match Caspian's real handwriting. The bank noticed right away. Cressida's face turned red. You had no right to move that money, she shouted. It was just sitting there while you played pretend about law school. We needed it. Needed it? I asked. For a house you cannot afford? Or for something else? She froze. For your gambling debts? I said quietly. Caspian turned his head quickly. Gambling. I clicked open another file. There are 3 credit cards that are completely full, I explained. 2 personal loans. And many visits to the Golden Crown Casino. Cressida's voice shook. You had no right to look at my private money. You tried to steal from me, I said. I had every right to protect myself. Caspian slowly sat down on the couch. His face looked pale. Cressida, he whispered. Is this true? It's not what you think, she said quickly. I had a plan. I was going to win the money back. The house would fix everything. How much do you owe? Caspian asked in a small voice. She did not answer. Over $200,000, I said gently. That's what we found. Caspian put his head in his hands. His shoulders began to shake. Get out, he whispered. Baby, please, Cressida cried. Get out. Caspian shouted loudly. You lied to me. You forged my name. You tried to steal from my sister. And you've been gambling away our life. Cressida grabbed her purse. Tears ran down her face. This isn't over, she said before running out the door. The door slammed hard. The house felt very quiet. Caspian leaned back on the couch and covered his face. I'm sorry, Liv, he said softly. I should have listened to you. I just wanted someone to love me. I sat beside him and gave him an envelope. What's this? He asked. It's the name of a divorce lawyer, I said kindly. And proof that Cressida planned this from the very beginning. I showed him text messages where she bragged about marrying into money. I showed him casino papers from before their wedding. I showed him the money she sent to secret accounts. She never loved me, he whispered. No, I said softly. But that is not your fault. She tricked you. He looked at me with wide eyes. She is a con artist, I said. She has done this before. His mouth opened in shock. What? I slid the last paper across the table. It showed that Cressida had been married once before in another state. That husband had also lost a lot of money. There were reports of debt and missing funds. Caspian stared at the paper for a long time. I was so blind, he said. You were in love, I answered gently. That can make people miss the signs. He nodded slowly. I'll help you, I said. We'll fix this step by step. Outside, the sun was starting to set. The sky turned orange and pink. It felt like the end of a long day. Cressida thought she had taken my future away. But instead, she showed her true self. My grandmother's words came back to me again. Sometimes the best way to win is to stay calm and let the truth show itself. Soon I will have my interview at law school. My dream was still alive. And now my brother knew the truth. A police report from 3 years ago sat on the table. It told about another marriage, another theft, and another family left hurt and broken. The woman, Cressida, had disappeared before the police could catch her. She had changed her name, moved to a new city, and found her next target. That target was us. Caspian stared at the page. He didn't say anything for a long time. His hands shook a little as he held it. Finally, he looked up, his voice quiet and hollow. The law fund, is it safe? I nodded. Grandma taught me. The money is safe. It's in a very secure trust. We've been keeping it protected for weeks. Every time Cressida tried to take it, we stopped her and kept a record of it. We have everything we need to press charges. Caspian's jaw tightened. Do it. Press charges. All of it. I will testify. Whatever you need. She cannot hurt anyone else. I hugged him. His shoulders shook with a mix of anger, sadness, and relief. He had been holding so much inside for so long. I'm sorry, he whispered. I was supposed to protect you. I was supposed to keep you safe. Instead, I put you in danger. You did protect me, I said gently. Back then, you kept me safe. You made sure nothing bad happened to me. Now let me protect you. Let me take care of the danger. My phone buzzed. A text from Marcella. The police are ready. Cressida's other victims are helping. This time it will work. We can catch her. Caspian breathed out slowly, like he was letting go of years of hope and shame. He closed his eyes for a moment. What happens now? Now, I said, we make sure Cressida never hurts another family again. I smiled a little, even though the storm outside made the windows shake. I have a law school interview to go to. I'm going to do my best. Caspian's face lit up. You're really going to become a lawyer? That's what the money was for, I said. That's what Grandma wanted. To make sure her dream for me could come true. He nodded slowly, his eyes shining with tears. She'd be proud of you. Not just for stopping Cressida, but for never giving up on your dream. And she is proud of you too, I said softly. For facing the truth, even when it hurts. For standing strong when everything seemed hopeless. Outside, thunder cracked over Manhattan. The storm seemed like it was echoing Cressida's downfall. Somewhere far away, Cressida was panicking, not knowing her games were over. She thought she could trick everyone, but she had finally met someone ready to stop her. 2 months later, I adjusted my blazer in front of the mirror. The Columbia Law crest gleamed on my acceptance folder. Today wasn't just about my future. It was about justice. Ready? Caspian asked from the doorway. He looked different, lighter somehow, now that the dark shadows under his eyes were fading. The divorce papers had been filed the day after Cressida's plans were discovered. He looked almost like himself again. Ready, I said, picking up my leather briefcase. The courthouse was full of voices. Lawyers, officers, and families all moving around, talking and preparing. But it wasn't just us. 3 other families were sitting in the gallery. They were all victims of Cressida's scams. Different names each time. Cressida Lee, Morgan Wells, Marie Walker. Same tricks, same plan. She moved fast, found their money, faked signatures, drained accounts, and disappeared before anyone could stop her. You don't have to testify, I whispered to Caspian as we sat down. Marcella can handle everything. She's really good at this. No, he said firmly. I need to face her. We all do. We need to show her that she cannot do this to anyone ever again. Cressida came in, flanked by 2 officers. Her fancy designer clothes were gone. Now she wore an orange jumpsuit. She had been arrested at JFK 3 weeks ago with a fake passport and $50,000 in cash. The smug smile I remembered from that phone call was gone. Panic replaced it when her eyes met the families sitting there, watching her. The hearing moved quickly. Marcella presented the evidence carefully and clearly. Forged papers, gambling debts, wire transfers to other countries, and Cressida's scams across 3 states. Every family had a story. All almost the same. Their trust had been broken. Their lives had almost been ruined. When Caspian testified, his voice didn't shake. She made me think I had found love, he said. But instead, I almost helped her steal my sister's future. That fund wasn't just money. It was a promise from our grandmother. A dream Mariselle never gave up on. Cressida doesn't just steal money. She steals hope. I squeezed his hand as he sat down. Then it was my turn. I was lucky, I said, my voice steady. Grandma taught me to trust my instincts and keep records of everything. She left me more than an education fund. She left me a lesson. Protect what matters. Today isn't revenge. It's accountability. So no one else loses what we almost did. Cressida needed to learn that she cannot hurt anyone without consequences. The judge's decision was fast. Guilty on all counts. 5 years in prison. Cressida had to pay back every victim. No early release. As they led her away, Cressida spat over her shoulder. Do you think this changes anything? You'll never make it as a lawyer. You'll fail, and I'll be out before your first year ends. I smiled faintly. We'll see about that. I heard Grandma's words in my head. Let them think they've won until they realize you were 10 steps ahead. I met Cressida's glare and said calmly, I start law school next month. Your little stunt didn't break me. It made me stronger. I leaned closer. My voice was calm, but sharp as glass. Thank you, Cressida. You taught me the best revenge isn't payback. It's thriving, even when people like you try to hurt me. It's about growing stronger and never letting anyone take what matters from you. Outside the courthouse, Caspian walked beside me. He was quiet for a moment before speaking. I found her ring. The engagement ring I worked so hard for, saved for months. It's fake, just like everything else. Sell it. Put it toward a fresh start, I suggested. He shook his head and pressed the small velvet box into my hand. No, I want you to have it. Sell it if you want, but add it to your fund. Turn something that symbolized her lies into something good. Turn it into a tool for a better future. That evening, I sat in my office, looking out over the Manhattan skyline. Beside my laptop was a photo of Grandma, her smile as warm as the day she taught me to trust my instincts. Next to it was a letter from Columbia Law, embossed in gold, accepted. My phone buzzed. A text from Caspian. Thank you for never giving up on me, even when I couldn't see the truth. I smiled softly. Things could have gone very differently if I hadn't listened to Grandma's lessons. Cressida had thought I was too focused on books to notice her tricks. She thought I was naive, too quiet, too careful to fight back. But I was ready. I had kept my future safe, and I didn't let her steal it. I picked up my navy suit jacket, brushing my hand over the embroidered name inside. Mariselle Thorne, JD candidate. Sometimes victory isn't just keeping what's yours. It's proving to yourself and everyone else that no storm, no person, and no lie can shake you when you know who you are and what you stand for. Cressida would have 5 years in prison to think about how her greed got her caught. Meanwhile, the quiet sister she underestimated was walking into the halls of Columbia Law, building a career on truth, justice, and fairness. A future she couldn't steal, no matter how hard she tried.